Okay, this is meant to get your attention. If you are relying on just this sliding door latch to protect the safety of yourself and your loved ones, you probably need to seriously rethink your home security precautions. Let's look at why. This latch is held on by just 4 screws that go about a 1/4 inch beyond the latch into about a 1/4 inch of a vinyl door. I can pop this door open, defeat the latch, and get into your house in just 5 seconds. However, there are some quick, easy, inexpensive things you can do to improve your home security on the spot. The first thing I would recommend is putting some kind of barrier to stop that door from moving. This is a piece of whiteboard, cut to fit, and even without a latch, you cannot open the door. You'll note the door is trimmed in behind these pieces, so it also cannot be lifted off of the frame. This is sometimes a sleeping room, so I have installed a screw so that it can easily be removed to escape in the case of fire. It's also convenient for me when I go out this door. I buy these whiteboards when I remodel. I usually use them as scrap wood to hold in pieces of drywall for drywall repair, screwing the drywall screws in. At the time, they cost about $1.97 for a 6-foot stick. This one is a scrap, so for me, this was free. There are other inexpensive and easily cut options available. This is a 1/2-inch piece of PVC pipe. I got this for free again. It was in a storage shed of a property I was remodeling. You can buy them for very little money at a home improvement store. They can be dropped in and prevent the door from moving. They have the advantage of being the same color as the PVC frame on the door if design issues are important to you. Finally, you might be tempted to use a shortened piece of PVC pipe to attempt to secure the door to allow ventilation when you're away from home. I would never do this on a first floor location because these sliders can be lifted out just like you can a window. So any thief could come along, lift this out, and get into your house. You should be sure that you secure all first floor points of entries, doors and windows, with at least a piece of wood or a PVC pipe to increase your home security. You might think that the deadbolt on your door provides pretty good security. And these deadbolts tend to be pretty well made and hold up well. But where are they anchored? Let's take a look. In a traditional installation, your deadbolt is held in by 2 1/2-inch screws into the door jamb, just a little thin piece of wood, about 3/4 of an inch thick, not into the 2x4s which are behind the door. Now this is a garage door, so I am not concerned at all because once somebody's in your garage, they'll get in no matter what. But on a front door, you can put a 3.5 or 4-inch screw through here and at least connect with the 2x4 behind the door and make it a little more difficult for somebody to kick into your house. The most common mode of burglary in my area is the kick-through through the front door. The burglar comes, knocks. If you're home, they say they're looking for a lost dog, selling magazine subscriptions and so forth. If you're not home, they give it a good kick and they're straight in. That's why it's best to have a wrought iron security door like this one. But even these are not fail-safe. However, it makes your house less attractive to that burglar than your neighbor who does not have that wrought iron door. Now let me tell you a quick story. Early on in my remodeling career, I sold a home on a real estate contract where I provided owner financing. It was a nice enough fellow, but he had a business that went bad, and he skipped town. He cleared the house out and locked it up, but I had to get into that house. I learned from the School of Hard Knocks when I do owner financing. Now I always retain a key. But I was left having to break into my own house. I went to the house, pulled into the driveway, walked around back with my toolbox, and using these 3 tools, broke through a security iron door and a rear slider in 3 minutes. And I was being careful because I didn't want to have to repair damage from getting in. I managed to get in without doing any damage. Imagine how a thief who doesn't care about damaging your doors could get into that house and at what speed. That brings me back to one of the important strategies for securing your home. And that's the old joke where if you go hiking with your friends and you meet a grizzly bear, you don't have to run faster than the grizzly bear, you just have to run faster than your friends. Applying that to home security, you don't have to have an impenetrable fortress. You just have to have a house that's less attractive than your neighbors. For example, a house with security iron on the door is less attractive to burglarize than a house with just a plain wooden door that can be kicked in seconds. A house at night that has lights all around is less attractive than a house that is in the dark and the shadows and lets you break in without being seen. A house with alarm signs, whether you have an alarm or not, is less attractive and more risky than a house that has none. A house that has interior lights on, and those interior lights change in a non-set pattern, is less attractive than a house that's all dark. And a house that has sound coming from it is more likely to be occupied than a house that's vacant. These are some of the best strategies to defend your house, other than the basics, securing your doors, overcoming these incredibly weak latches. I hope you find some of these security tips helpful, and I appreciate you watching this video.